And we are live. Welcome to the 9th episode of the PlatsTalk podcast. We are back today for another PlatsTalk. I am super excited. We haven't done one of these. It's been a while. PlatsTalk podcast. It's been a while since we did one of these. So I am joined by Wildcrafters as always. So Wildcrafters, how are you today?
Rocket League.
Okay, so have you used Rocket League before? I think you may have.
No.
You have
No,
not
haven't.
used Rocket League before.
No, I'm actually horrible at the game.
Okay,
Like what?
I have to go
Bronze
close my
2.
door. So chat,
For sure,
I will be
bronze
back in
2.
a second. Just give me a second here. Probably not too many people on the stream yet because, like, you know, it was just announced. Okay, cool. My door is closed because I don't want to be like
And we
screaming
lost
loud
place.
talk and stuff like that. So I want to close my door. But mind you, I will literally. I don't think that's gonna change anything. I just gotta post the links, but we have some pretty interesting topics for today. I don't think. We have so we have the trade window for RLCS has been going on for a little bit in EU, but it's really been going on for a much longer time in EU, but it's just started in NA. The roster window, yeah, it's just started in North America. Let me just make these announcements here. Can you like stall or something so I can like make these announcements?
Yes, I can stall. What's everybody name's PewDiePie? That's all I got.
What do you
PewDiePie
what do you
fake
say?
intro. I tried impersonating PewDiePie, but it didn't work. 'Cause he changes his intro every like week or so. Okay.
Isn't it?
I
I just
love
remember
my
when it was Good Morning Gamers.
Good morning, game. That's Musty.
No, Musty is Hey Gamer. You don't know that?
That's Hey Gamer or Good Morning Gamer, depending when he films his video. And I just realized I'm playing with EU players.
Okay, well, are you playing Rumble again?
No, I'm playing Catch 2 or 3, so in case I have to leave and do something, I can just leave
Yeah,
quickly.
yeah. I mean, for me, I can focus really well while this is still on, so it doesn't make that much of a difference.
Well, I just don't have to play, because one,
What happened?
because typically my players aren't really that good at the game, so
Yeah, okay.
especially in
okay.
Catch, so I can literally do whatever I want in
Yeah,
Catch.
yeah. Okay, so first we have some RLCS details here. A lot of stuff going on with RLCS and with the, especially there's a lot that's gone on with the trade window. So we're gonna be getting into all of the roster changes, and then we're gonna give you basically this is gonna be me being triggered for a little bit. We're gonna talk about High Diamond, which I don't know if you'll agree with me on this, is probably the second most toxic rank I have ever been in,
Ow.
behind Plat 2.
I'm more toxic.
I found Plat 2 more toxic. Like, I was, like, almost, like, I wasn't quitting the game, but I took a pretty hard break at Plat 2. I found Plat 2 to be more toxic than Diamond 2 is right now, but still, like, it was Diamond 3 is still, it's a toxic rank. I'm not gonna lie. Diamond 3,
Guys, are we starting with Diamond? Are we starting with Diamond, or are we starting with
we're starting with the roster changes. Is that good?
Yes.
So, let's get going here with the first topic, the
What
roster
team?
changes. There's a lot
team are
of
you gonna
stuff that's going on right now. A lot.
I say would start off with G2.
Okay, that's a good thing. I just gotta quickly pull up the Shift Twitter, which I have checked. I have checked Shift RLE so many times today. They do a lot of rumors, and a lot of these can I like at Shift RLE? Cool. And then let me pull up the Wikipedia, the trades. Cool. A lot of the stuff that has come in from Shift, I have heard from Lawler. So if you want a lot of updates on esports, I'd recommend going to watch Lawler. And also from some stuff on the transfer page. So let's just, rather than starting off with G2, I want to start with officially announced transfers, okay? Like
Let's start one
non-rumors.
transfer.
So first of
Okay,
all,
fine.
let's start with the best one. Musty is now the NRG sub. That is kind of hilarious, almost. I mean, Musty is good at the game, so like, I mean, still, but
He's good, but I don't think he's RLCS ready yet.
I think Musty is. Like, he's SSL and everything, and I think because Musty even said he doesn't want to go pro because it would affect his upload, so for him, and I guess he likes NRG. I watched the video that he posted last night, but I guess he said that he likes NRG. Because he like, as I said, he likes the org. He likes the content creator role that he has, and him being a sub, he doesn't have to commit that much time. He won't have to commit that much more time to scrims every day. It's just like if someone like can't make it or something, Musty will be the one who goes in. I think that is definitely good for him as a pro to kind of start moving into that pro-ish level, I guess. I think that's a good thing. It's definitely good for Musty, so congrats to him. This one was actually very heavily teased on the NRG Twitter, which actually, I think it probably pissed a lot of people off how much this was teased. So let me find here. They basically NRG sent out a tweet on March 1st. So they said, we are thrilled with the performance of our, and this was, bear in mind, this was, so the NA Major happened, Verdict NRG won it, Rogue's doing well as well, they came second. Basically, the NA Major NRG won, so keep that in mind. We are thrilled with the performance of our Rocket League team this weekend. However, we are currently undergoing a major roster transition. Please bear with us and ignore any rumors that may be circulating. We will bring you exact details tomorrow at 2 o'clock p.m. PST. As you're going to hear a bit later, this baited a lot of people into thinking FaZe was picking up NRG. And then it was announced that Musty is the sub now for NRG. So that's pretty cool. It's a good way that they did it, and they had to wait for the transfer window to open. Other news, the player EXO has been removed from Galaxy Racer. I closed the tab. I don't know, what are your thoughts on Musty Going Pro?
It's definitely a big step up for him.
Well, yeah, for sure, obviously, but I think it's...
The main thing though is, will he be able to hold his own in?
But bear in mind,
lobbies?
in Season 8, I remember even Garrett said, I've never used a sub. And in Season 8, the player Moses was the sub. I heard that in the Potty C podcast. And he was Garrett's old teammate from, like, Season 1 and 2.
Well, then they had to have his sub for when Justin fell asleep for LAN.
No, they didn't have that. I don't think they needed to, I don't think
well, Justin wasn't there, so they had to
Justin
have a
was
sub.
at LAN.
No, he fell asleep and was late for LAN.
I could see that happening, but maybe NRG wasn't playing. You never know.
They were.
So, then next is rumors, or actually, first let's just go to the stuff we know. So, Yukio is off flip-flop tactics. Yukio went from Dignitas to fadeaway to flip-flop. Now he is on, I think, rumored to be I don't know if it is Solary, but, we don't, Shift says Solary has brought on Yukio and EXO. I don't know if that's exactly right, but, the team is going to be Yukio, EXO, and, and Tux Trapanized. I think that's how you pronounce that. Yeah, let's just go with Yukio, EXO, and Tox. That's going to be the team. We don't know if it is Solary or what it is, but I know that is a roster. And then EXO is off of Galaxy Racer, so that's an EU team. So those are the main stuff that has happened. Apart from that, oh, and Bluey left Triple Trouble. That's another big one. There isn't
They're actually
really...
still a team.
What?
Triple Trouble still a team?
Yeah, they got revived, but because Bluey left Triple Trouble and then someone else left, so they forfeited their RLCS points. Other than that, there's no real actual concrete evidence, or necessarily, not concrete evidence, but there's not necessarily any direct evidence for a lot of these. However, now when we get into the rumors, this is where stuff starts to get interesting. Cookser is rumored to Wolves, and he put out a tweet of a wolf. So, I mean, that's a rumor. And these are kind of less interesting ones. The whole EXO scenario has been sorted out now, given that he went to the team with Tox and Yukio. But here's a big one. I'm just going to read it from Shift, what it said. This is currently a rumor. So, sources say that G2 may be looking to change their roster with the intent to replace Rizzo. It's speculated that the Peeps star AJ had a tryout and was in position to join the team, but turned down the offer. So Rizzo could be potentially...
G2 Rizzo lives on.
What?
Hashtag G2 Rizzo lives on.
Well, Rizzo could potentially be, and this is all a rumor, but not be on G2 for the next split, which their results have been terrible, but I'm honestly against, I don't know about you, but I'm against G2 making a roster change because, you know, people are just basically saying, oh, they're playing so bad right now. Remember Season 8 when the same roster finished dead last in league play and then they won the Season 9 regional? Does anyone not remember that? Like, G2's not doing well right now, but they've shown before that they can turn it around. They just have to do that again. I don't know what you think about that, though.
I do think that, yeah, they need to probably change up the roster if they want to start winning more
You think they have to
things.
change it? But who would they change it with? Who would they get? That's really who it comes down to.
But have to more than likely get rid of Rizzo. As much as I don't want that to happen, Rizzo just doesn't play much like an NA player. He mostly plays on the ground,
But that's like G2
which
has
isn't a
shown
problem.
I
It's
think
not a problem, but because clearly Turbo Pulse has shown that's fun to play on the ground.
well, yeah. I mean, I guess that goes. We talked about NA EU playstyles before, but that really all kind of still pertains, I'd say. Especially watching EU gameplay. I watched a lot of the EU major and a lot of the NA major this weekend. I would honestly be kind of G2 is always a team that I haven't minded. They've done like I watched the G2 Rocket League house tour. It was so bad. It was really funny. They've done like dumb skits and stuff. Like it's a fun team. Like you can tell they're like a tight knit team. And that's why, especially even with Kronovi leaving G2, it's tough to see. It's hard to see, especially I feel like with JNAPS and Rizzo, it's different now because they've been together for so long. Like if they were to replace Chicago, no offense to Chicago, he's a great player, but it almost might not have the same impact because Rizzo and JNAPS have been together for so long. But with this, like it almost feels like more so like even crazier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, if they were to take Rizzo off G2, first of all, what do you think would happen to Rizzo? Would he retire or would he get on
Rizzo
another
would
team?
probably retire and go to coaching at Xiz, probably.
I don't think he'd coach. I think that Rizzo, I think that what the, and I honestly, because G2 I think are on contract. I want to say they're on contract till 2022. Yeah, July 13th, G2 signs a new multi-year deal with their current roster, Rizzo, JNAP, Chicago, which keeps the squad with the club through 2022. I think that if they were to take Rizzo off the team, what would happen is I think that him, similar to Athena, he would go to a content role. I think that if Rizzo was taken off of G2, I think he would just not. I almost think, and this is no due respect to Rizzo, but I feel like he would just want to focus more on content and still represent the org. I feel like that might be something
He
that he
probably
would do.
won't stay with the org.
I think he would maybe want to stay with, like, he's been on G2 for so long. I think he'd maybe want to, stay with the org. Now
Well, think of it. If he gets kicked off the team, he's not going to want to do anything with the team. He's not going to want to have the team anymore because he'd be mad at the team still.
but he would,
So
if
him
he
getting
gets
kicked off.
kicked from the team, I think that, I don't think he'd
Same
be
thing
mad.
like Leth. So what Leth did. Leth got kicked. He didn't stick around for content for Ghost. He just left.
I know, but I think that I have a feeling that if Rizzo were to, because Rizzo has a successful YouTube channel and Twitch streaming as well. I feel like if Rizzo were to be off G2, I feel like he would switch to a more content position. I don't think.
He'd probably go to content for NRG or SSG.
I know, but bear in mind, G2 has content creators too, so they maybe want to keep Rizzo in a content role. I think that if they were to take Rizzo off of G2, I think that would be the best scenario for the org because G2 gets a lot of their fans from Rizzo because he's a content creator. I remember what Sunless put it as. Rizzo has a big fan base because in addition to being a Rocket League pro, he also makes content and he's also a content creator and also has a personality. So, like, I think that it would be good for G2 to keep Rizzo in the org if they were going to remove him from the team. But that being said, I think G2 can sort it out. Now, the next roster change is the next rumor is probably even more crazy. So, this was put out by Shift. Literally, how long? Oh, also, yeah, there's I said the rumor of Cookster to Wolves, but yeah, okay, yeah. Shift. Here's the mistake on their end. Tox appears to be leaving the Soul Reorganization instead. So Yukio, Ixo, and Tox don't appear to be on Solary anymore, and they're probably going to form a new team. That does mean Flip-Flop Tactics, I'd assume, would disband because Cookster's looking for new teams. I assume probably Rizex would be too. I'm not sure about that, though. But a key thing here is, so I don't know if you guys saw, but there was a leak that said Rocket League announcement video. And it was a leak from someone from FaZe, and it was on their calendar. It was on Instagram, sorry, and I saw it. I think it was from Lawler, and the tweet was like the post was deleted, but somebody retweeted it, or somebody really would find it and then they re-upload it. So the current rumor that was put out from Shift as of, let's see if this was updated, as of 2 hours ago, is it literally says after a leak that suggested FaZe Clan would be entering Rocket League, It is alleged that they are in talks with the North American team, the Peeps. What do you make of this?
Well, I don't really know much about the Peeps, other than it's like an off-brand esports.
They're not. Well, the Peeps are. They're an unsigned team. They're
Yeah.
currently 5th in NA. Gyro, AJ, and
It's like the
Elution.
Muffin Men before
What?
C9.
Yeah, it's like how the Muffin Men were, and then they got picked up by C9. It's the same exact scenario. I like the Peeps. I supported them. I think even back, it was their RLRS qualifiers. I think it might have been. It was the first time I watched RLRS qualifiers, so that might have been. They qualified for. I don't know when they qualified for RLRS, but it might have been season 5 or 6. I remember watching the RLRS qualifiers, and I remember I was cheering for the Peeps, and that's when I started to actually like this team. I think that was. I think that might have been back when they had Arsenal, but because it was a long time ago. But the Peeps is now Gyro, AJ, and Elution. This is a good team. I think that they are going to make LAN. I think they're going to make LAN. I think the top 6.
Well, if they're already fifth, then yeah, they're gonna make it.
Well, they could dip out of that. They still have the potential to do that. The only team that has clinched a LAN spot, according to Wikipedia, is BDS, which is really surprising. NRG has not clinched a LAN spot. No.
Wow.
The only teams that have clinched LAN spots are literally, because bear in mind, BDS just won everything. So I think that the only team that appears to have clinched the LAN spot is because their name is in green, so I assume that's what that means. Let me actually just go to the EU rankings and just see if I can find some more updated stuff for this. Yeah, TBS is already qualified for Worlds. NA, no, like they're the only team that has, because they are literally, they have over 1,000 more points than than Vitality. NRG is close. NRG, I'd say, probably needs, I mean, to at least be where BDS is. If BDS is at 3458, using that as a baseline, NRG needs about 550 if my math is right. So they can attain that.
It's probably not.
Well, about 550. I think the exact number is 555 if I'm smart. What's I'm literally going to Google right now and doing this because yeah, 555. So NRG, assuming that it's the same amount of points as BDS has right now, but NRG, I think, but that's beyond the point. But BDS, as I was saying, only team that have clinched LAN. The Peeps phase entering the Rocket League is huge for the scene. I don't know if you agree with me on that, but
Not really, because FaZe is in a lot more stuff. They're more of a freestyle clan. So if they were to pick up freestyle,
yeah, I think
like
that would make more
freestyle
sense.
team,
But I
then
think,
yeah.
I think for FaZe Clan to be entering Rocket League, I think is huge because right now Rocket League has a lack of tier 1 orgs. So going through the list, Dignitas, Liquid.
But what would the Peeps' names be though? Energy Peeps.
It would be FaZe. It would just be FaZe. Their team name would just be FaZe Clan.
It's the same thing, but that one soccer team picking up a.
Oh,
thing.
it's same thing with FC Barcelona and PSG. Exact same thing. But like in terms of tier 1 orgs in Rocket League, you have, I don't know if Vitality is tier 1. They could be. I don't know for sure. Dignitas, I know they're tier 1 for sure. Singularity, I think, is tier 1. Liquid's tier 1. NRG, Envy, Space Station, G2, Ghost could be, I think Ghost is actually. And then like in terms of former tier 1 orgs, really the only ones that come to mind that used to be in Rocket League were like Secret, C9, and TSM and Fnatic. But I think for the Peeps to be re-entering Rocket League, or sorry, for FaZe to enter is huge.
What about Justin's old team?
Justin's old team?
Yeah.
NRG is not going to FaZe.
No. That's not Justin's old team. That's Justin's current team.
Oh, Justin's old team. What Justin's old team was?
Yeah.
It was Out of Style. That team was like, that team broke up like, or they divided a long time ago. Lachinio is inactive and has been since April 1st, 2019. Epic Johnny is also inactive and has been since October 18th, 2018. But Out of Style was because Justin, after season 5, like after RLRS season 4, he switched to NRG. Probably a smart move.
Energy's famous because of Justin's goal, Entropulsa,
Yeah.
Ferret G. And now Squishy Muffins.
But I think that I guess the roster moves. I think FaZe coming into Rocket League would be huge because to have an org with as much exposure as FaZe, with as big of a fan base as FaZe, and especially now that Rocket League is free to play. I know I watched back when Avery, who's a Fortnite player, when he was on FaZe. I remember I watched him a lot. But to have an org like FaZe in Rocket League is huge because they're, I'd say, some of the top orgs that we currently have. So I'm probably gonna miss some, so I'm sorry. But like some of the biggest orgs, FaZe, NRG, Cloud9, TSM. How many of those are
Cloud9's
Rocket
not a team
League?
anymore.
What?
C9's not a team anymore.
TSM is a team.
C9.
Cloud9 is still an org. I'm talking about the biggest orgs that were in Rocket League, like just the biggest tier 1 orgs in general. C9, NRG, TSM, and FaZe are like 4 orgs that people think of. Now, how many of those are in Rocket League still? 1, NRG.
4.
So to have another one of these huge orgs entering is huge for the game. But I don't know how much more I can milk this topic, so you want to move on to the next one?
Sure.
Hi, Diamond. You might have to take lead on this one. It's toxic.
Alright.
It's
Yes.
toxic.
And the Smurfs are horrible.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
You didn't think of Smurfs, it's the first thing that comes to my mind.
The first thing that comes to my mind is toxicity, because the amount of assholes, for lack of better words, that are in High Diamond is ridiculous. Like,
language is a thing here, Blaze.
yeah, I'm sorry.
You should be sorry.
As I was saying, the amount of people that are like in High Diamond and are toxic, and I think it has to do, and I've seen this in the Sunless video too, with getting close to champ. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The amount of people that are toxic in High Diamond is ridiculous. It's crazy. I don't know if you can talk to that at all, but it is stupidly crazy.
It's typically for Diamond, especially High Diamond. You come into the players that are already in champ, where they don't want you to be in champ because they don't think you're there yet. So
because
then
you
they
said
make
that
sure
you've been
to
in
crush
champ,
all
right?
your ego.
Like you said, because you've been in champ before, and you said
Yes.
champ 1 was less toxic than Diamond 3, right?
Yeah.
I think it's because people are crossing that bar.
But there's also a lot more Smurfs though.
In champ 1 or Diamond 3?
That's how I lost. That's how I lost my champ. I lost to Smurfs.
Because Smurfs coming out was ridiculous in D3. Holy crap! There's like, I swear, like so many people were Smurfs. It was because when I remember like
because players try and get their friend up there. To
exactly,
the higher level,
exactly, and
because their friend
I
just
know
wants
like
to be there.
there have been people who have asked me before, I can help you get up at the game on an alt, and I always say no. And now I do have an alt, but the thing with my alt account is that the rank balance evens out. So I'll go through it with Stiplicity. We win. First of all, I don't try. When I'm on my alt, I don't try as hard as I normally do unless the people are actually somewhat decent. With Skips, when I play with Skips, we go win-loss pretty much every time. When I play with Stiplicity, very similar thing. Again, it just depends on
Stip and Stiplicity the same thing.
It's a similar thing. Usually when I play with people on my alt, my point is that I usually go win-loss. I don't, like, well, yes, I could have more score, and I could in some scenarios be carrying. I'm not going to necessarily full sweat. I'll be trying still, but I won't want, a lot of times what ends up happening is that you'll go up to a breaking point in the, and I when I'm talking about Stip, I'm talking about when Stip was, because I think he's D2 now, but I'm talking about when he was,
D2?
Yeah, I know. I mean, no offense to Stip, I was a bit surprised. I guess Stip's really been grinding, though. Congratulations.
I'm surprised he's D2.
You're
last
not?
I talked to him, I am surprised. Last time I talked to him, he said he was, I think, silver 1 and 3s.
Well, because, beyond Stip, but back when Stip was like Plat 2, or when I'd play with, I guess, actually, I never really played games with Frack. We usually played hoops, so I just played on my main. Or when I played with Funky, you know, it evened out with the rank of that alt. I think that alt now is Diamond 1, if I'm not mistaken. I think the alt account's Diamond 1. But it evens, it's not like I'm carrying, yes, but it doesn't really disproportionately affect their rank. And I think that is okay. So for example, if somebody is playing and they are like champ 2 and they're playing with a D2 in like D3 lobbies but are half trying, if you get what I'm saying.
Well, because the one Smurf that me and Akimbo ran to when we were playing champ lobbies was, I think, it was a GC of some sort. I think it was GC2. He said
Once
it was.
it gets to the rank where people can 2v1, pretty much most of the ranks before them. So that's when you're getting into the GCs. That is when it becomes an issue in my mind. I think that because where I'm at D3 and with my wonderful, wonderful mechanics, by the way, I am literally Justin at this game.
Yeah.
I can't 2v, like, I played 2 silvers in a 2v1 and I lost. Like, I can't 2v1 very well. But yes, I was plat 3 back then and I'm D3 now, but I can't 2v1 very well, so it doesn't have as much of a disproportionate effect. With somebody who is like GC2, they can 2v1 2 Diamond 3 to Champ 1 players. No doubt about it. So that is where, in my mind, that smurfing becomes a problem.
Well, new champ players. If they're old champ players and they've been in champ for a long time,
yeah,
it's a bit
okay,
harder.
yeah,
Because in champ, things learn a lot. Like, you have to learn a lot more stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I think, though, that it just, like, there's... the amount of people
Well, because I know how it feels. Because, like, for me, I've played with some players before that were, like, plat 1, plat 2, and I was able to 1v4 them.
Yeah, well, we did play... The only times that I think... So, for us... Actually, you know, I'm going to use our show matches as a good example of this, because the show matches demonstrate this really well. So, we have done 3...
Show match. We still gotta do the Robbie one again.
Yeah, we do. So, we've done 4 show matches in total now. Well, I've done 4, you've done 3. So, the first one was 2 plats versus 4 golds. One of those golds, trading Tortel, I am 90% sure was a smurf. Because there was no way. He
wasn't a good smurf.
What?
He was not a good smurf, though.
There was no way that he was doing that stuff in Diamond, but we won the game. We won it in overtime off 50,
gold?
So I don't care. I remember he told us he's Diamond, and then I'm like, well, we won, so whatever. The next one was 2 plats versus 1 champ, and again, this is almost a similar scenario with the carrying, in a way. I think if Robbie had a teammate, he would have beat us. He would have beat us. It came down to the wire.
He did beat us, remember when we did the 2v2?
What?
Him and one of his friends.
Oh, we got smoked in that.
There was 2 champ... And we lost by 3. It was 3-6.
In the 2v2? When was the 2v2 was, that was
tournament.
a tournament.
It was like an MTX event.
It was an MTX. I remember that 2v2, but I remember we lost by, I remember we got smoked.
It was 6-3, remember that? We
yeah,
thought we did okay
I don't remember the exact score, but when we 2v1'd Robbie, and that was back when Robbie was C1, C2. I think he was C1 when we recorded that video, and then I think like a day later he hit C2, so I just said C2. And I was plat 3 and you were plat 2. That video did really come down to the wire. We did almost lose. I remember we scored an overtime goal. We scored a goal with 6 seconds left to tie it, and then we Brazil.
Yep.
We had to do the overtime as a whole other game so we could do the server switching and stuff. And then I remember we Braziled the overtime. Now, the next show match, this is where it gets interesting. 1 plat versus 2 silvers. This was a very thrown-together project that Relevant and... It was Relevant and Jeffeckers, we did it together. It was really thrown together. I'm like, okay, I'll 2v1 you guys for a show match. I was lagging so much that day. That is part of why I lost. Also because I can't 2v1. So that is, I guess, an example in a way of... Yeah, smurfing might not work all the time, because if I'm playing like with a lower ranked player in those lobbies, we probably would have lost still. Because I remember, I think I won the first game, but lost the next 2. And then the next show match, this is I think where the rank where it's going to show that smurfing becomes more apparent. And this is the most recent show match that we did. 2 diamonds versus 4 plat 1s. It was 2 diamonds versus 4 low plats. We crushed them, and I was not expecting that at all. I know you were. And I was trash talking Funky and Frack that morning because I saw them that morning.
Because they were doing the same thing.
So I was trash talking them. I was texting Frack and trash talking him, and then I met up with him and Funky. I remember I was trash talking them that morning. But with that show
well, at that time, what was our ranks at that time?
I think we were both D2. I think that was when you had just passed me. I'll check. It was in the thumbnail. But I think
I was mid D3 at that time.
You know what? Wait. Let me watch this video quickly. I gotta find it here. Hey everyone. Team, we have me. I'm somewhere in between Diamond 2 and Diamond 3 at this. Okay, so then this was when this was before my crash. This point, and really I'm basically the CEO of getting garbage rolls at this point. I have basically no mechanical skill whatsoever, but I can definitely play a support role decently, and that's basically what's going to help us try to win this game. Then we have Wildcrafters, who's currently Diamond 3. Wildcrafters Okay, so you were Diamond 3, and then I was, because my Crash and Burn was, it was late December. It was like the day that Akimbo joined. Like, the first time we played together, that was the day of my Crash and Burn. That wasn't Akimbo's fault. I was already crashing and burning before that, but that was really the tail end of it.
Mhm.
I'm not even joking. It wasn't Akimbo's fault, because I remember that I lost 3 games, then lost 2 by Abandoners, then lost 2 with Akimbo, and then I lost... There was another game somewhere in there. I lost 8 games in a row that day. It was like 8 or 9 games. It was ridiculous. But anyways, I was at that point, high Diamond 2 to low Diamond 3, and that's where I almost think that that's where smurfing starts to have more of an effect on the players, especially depending on the players who they're going up against.
In my opinion, the higher rank you're like around Diamond and Champ, that's when the effect really starts hitting, because at that point you're like, do I start continue to put my time in and go all the way, or do I not? And then the Smurfs are there to say, the Smurfs are there just to influence you to say no.
I think that there's a lot of people that I even know who have tried to influence me in a way to, I'm not going to name people, but I know there's probably a lot of people who want me to try and grind, and I have no interest in grinding, but I really feel like there are 2 spots in someone's Rocket League playing when they're like, am I going to go pro? I think a lot of it has to do with age, but I think, and I'm not going to get into that, but I think that there are 2 spots in a Rocket League Pro that it's going to be, okay, am I going to grind this? And there are a lot of factors involved. I feel like the first spot is Plat 2, and this happened in my case because I ranked up rapidly from Gold 3 to Plat 2. And that was where I was like, okay, I can actually go pro in this, and I realized it was hard, and I'm like, forget it, I have better things to do with my life. For a lot of people, I think they hit this at high Diamond, because this is when they are close to... For me, I'd already went through this, and I'm like, okay, I already know I don't want to go pro. I have better things to do with my time, so you know what? I'll play for fun.
Champ is where it really starts to hit, because that's where you start really getting to players where skill is like max, and now this becomes a...
But I feel like once somebody...
What happens? What can I do?
Yeah, I feel like once somebody gets to D3, there's this huge grind in them to get to C1. And then that grind keeps going because they're getting closer and closer. And I think this might have changed slightly since SSL, but they're just really grinding out for pro. I have seen people before...
There's a 154 ground pinch, by the way.
Nice. Well, I know, I'm just going to use Robbie as an example, who he is going for pro. And I've known that for a while. I think he said something about it too.
Well, he's good at the game, so...
But, like, he's grinding for pro. I think he's GC... He might be GC3, actually. I think he recently hit it.
He's GC2.
What did he say? He sent something in the,
I'll check. Let's see.
He might be is he GC3 or GC2?
MTX Robbie is Grand Champion Uno in 1s, GC2 in 2s,
oh, he's
and C3
he has hit on
C3 in Rumble.
On the first, he hit on the 1st of March. He hit GC3 Dip 1. So, like, someone like Robbie, for example,
guess he lost it.
Is grinding for SSL and like to go pro, and obviously that's a good thing. I have no disrespect to that, but I feel like it hits a lot of people around high Diamond, because that is when they realize that they're close and they just want to be done sucking at Rocket League. With me,
because as soon as it comes to champ, it's just basically the skill is starting to be its max. And now it comes down to mechanics, like, can you flip reset properly? Can you do a ceiling shot very efficiently? Can you do boost management efficiently?
I feel like Diamond plays a lot less clean. There are I feel like after Diamond, though,
Diamond 1 and 2 play just more freestyle-y. And then Diamond 3 is like, okay, we're actually going to start playing the game now.
I feel like after Diamond 2, because I actually just got out of Diamond 2. And I'm like a low D3 now. Diamond 2, people throw... There's one key difference between D2 and D3. Diamond 2, people throw away the ball. Without it, like, they throw away the ball like crazy. With Diamond 3, people hold on to it more. And what really got me from D2 to D3 and 2s is when you taught me how to hold on to the ball. Pretty much just when you taught me how to actually work and, like, just not to throw the ball away right away, which is still something I'm working on, but I've gotten a lot better at. And for me, that was the difference maker, because then when I went into solo queue, one, I have to change my playstyle less when I play with you now. Before, I had to have a drastic change. But two, I was more so able to once I had more confidence controlling the ball, I could use that confidence and get to D3 that way. So that's kind of how I did it. And right now I'm stable at. Right now I haven't played in a few days just because I've been super busy. If you saw on MTX, I took a few-day break just because I was so busy with other stuff that was more important. That's also part of the reason why I haven't had a video out recently. I had one out like a week ago, but that's beyond the point. I did hit my peak MMR of 1141. For me, grinding.
And in champ lobbies as well, before you continue with your topic, in champ lobbies, players tend to hold the ball a lot more aggressively.
Oh, definitely. I believe you.
They'll, instead of going for 50s like in D3, players will just go for a 50. In champ, players will just go around you very fast, and then they'll end up then it becomes a 2v1, then the one person just goes for a demo, they get the demo into goal.
It's very minor differences, I think, between high diamond.
So challenging is like our big thing. From
but
like D3
I think
to champ,
the issues
challenging
with
is a
high
huge
diamond
difference.
and why it's such a toxic rank and why there are so many Smurfs is because this is the rank that, and I didn't see this at Plat to Diamond at all, but I feel like in high diamond, because I like Plat 3. I actually didn't mind Plat 3 as a rank. I hated Plat 2, but I liked Plat 3, and then Diamond 3 is the one where it's like, I don't like this rank. But
well, even when we were in Plat, we ran into a couple Smurfs.
I have not run into this many Smurfs in Rocket League since I was Bronze 1. Matt, I don't know if you're watching this. I think he had something to do, so he's probably not watching this. But Matt, if you do end up seeing this on replay, I don't know if you will or not. You would remember when we played Bronze, we would get so many Smurfs. We would get, because people even back then in those Bronze lobbies, if they were like Gold, they could still 2v1. Because back then I feel like Golds were also better back then, to be honest. I think
because the ranks have changed over time.
No, actually, no, I don't think Golds were better. Back then, they were probably worse, actually.
Because something I'm noticing right now is champ lobbies in Rumble have increased. Since last season, I played last season, players weren't really that good in Rumble and high champ. But now, they're really good in high champ.
I mean, I don't know what else to say about high diamond. It's just that it's general, it's toxic.
It sucks.
It's filled with Smurfs. And I feel like that this is the stage where a lot of people want to go pro, but it's taking too long. I think that's the key takeaway with high diamond. A lot of people.
That's probably why people start smurfing.
Exactly.
They think,
exactly.
Oh, yeah,
they get their better friends to help them.
Hey, SSL partner player buddy, can you carry me to SSL? And they go, yeah, sure. Nothing else better to do, because in SSL, like what much pros say is, okay, well, I've already hit top 1 in the world. Now I'm just bored, and then they get tired of the game.
Yeah, I think that with Rocket League, and I think with high diamond, it's just this is where people want to start getting better at the game and they want to put in more time, but it's taking them too long. With me, I don't like being carried by people. I don't mind if I'm playing with them and they're better than me and I'm playing a support role and therefore I'm getting less score, but I'm still doing the right things. I'm still helping the team. But when someone is not doing anything whatsoever, and I mean I don't do anything a lot of times, but when someone is not doing anything at all and they're hopelessly better than you and you're playing with them, for example, I think it's different if for me, with ranked, I want to earn my rank, and I feel like if I have somebody carry me to a higher rank, I don't know if this is just a me thing, but I feel like
that's probably a you thing,
because the thing is, I don't play very often compared to a lot of other people because I'm usually busy with other stuff, and I like playing for fun, but I like earning my rank. I don't mind earning it with friends, but I like to actually know when I get to a new rank that I did something to get there. If I'm playing with somebody who is C2, C3, even C1 and is not playing on their main account, if they're playing on their main account, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that because we're going to be being matched up with higher opponents anyways. So I won't have a problem with that. But if someone is playing on a D3 Smurf and is playing with me and they're actually C2, I don't like that because then it feels like I've done less to contribute to my own rank and that someone else has done it. But with me for Rocket League, ranking up is very rewarding and that's why I play ranked. But it's not the most important aspect of it. The most important aspect of it for me is having fun. Oh, if I lose diamond, whatever, I'll get it back. That's always my attitude. But or if if I lose champ, whatever, I'll get it back eventually. That's always really been my attitude with ranked. It's not a good attitude to have, but for me, who's not super serious about gaming,
it's a good mentality to have because, for example, when I lost champ to the Smurfs, it really hurt because I grind so hard to get champ. But then just to lose it that bad, because then I got hit back down to Div 2 and Diamond 3.
So you think it's a good mentality that I have then?
it's a good mentality to have because it won't affect you as much.
I
Because
feel like
I haven't played twos in a long time.
crash and burns still affect me because when I'm on a crash and burn, I hate it because I'm
Crash
not
and
like
burn's always gonna affect you.
crash and burn will always
'Cause
affect
it's
me
gonna-
because
if crash and
I'll
burn
get
will
like
always come
upset during
back.
crash and burn and stuff. But I find that crash and burns and toxic teammates in high diamond are very common occurrences. I don't know
Well, crash
why.
and burn, it's just like a tap on the shoulder. Pretty much like, if you get lucky and you go really high up, then the crash and burn will come back and say, no, you shouldn't be there. Come on back here. And that pulls you
Yeah.
back, because then you start getting actual players. Because that's the same thing that happened to me. When I first played, like when I first hit Diamond, I don't know if you remember this, me and you skyrocketed from Diamond, like from Plat 3, all the way to like Diamond 3.
Well, I remember
But then the
that was
crash and burn
July,
came
right?
and
That was
tapped
last
us on the
summer,
shoulder
correct?
and said, come back down to Diamond 1 where you belong.
Yeah, that was that last summer? I remember I went to D1. I think I was at D1. I went from Plat 1 to D3 pretty fast, but I remember what happened was over the summer, when the Spike Rush video came out, which that video did really well, and it is a half-assed video, but like whatever.
Just
When
remember who made that video.
what?
Just remember who made the video.
You don't remember? Or you remember it?
I remember who made the video, yeah.
I did not like making that video. I didn't like Spike Rush, but
I love Spike Crush.
that was when I was Plat 2. I was Plat 2 at that time, and then I busted out of it. And that was after I had hit D1 for the first time. But I wasn't like that upset about it at the time. I just knew I had crashed and burned. I probably took a break for a few days to play some other games. But in the video, it's not that evident that I was pissed off. I probably was, but like, you don't know that. But I guess the verdict with High Diamond is that it's a really annoying rank. There's lots of smurfs, and I guess just the verdict here is just don't smurf to help your friends.
The
in Diamond,
verdict
'cause
is good luck, Stip. You'll need it.
that's not a bad verdict. But yeah, is there anything else you want to say? There's no one in chat. No one actually watched this one, but whatever. The past broadcast will be up in a few hours. So anything else you want to say, or do you want to end it here?
I think that's good.
So that's gonna have this stream. If you did enjoy, please be sure to like, subscribe, and turn notifications so you know if it's a video or another PlatsTalk podcast. We'll do these every so often. Like, we don't really have a schedule for them. It's just I call Wildcrafters, hey, you want to do PlatsTalk? He says yes or no, I'm busy, and then if he says yes, we do it. That's essentially how PlatsTalk works. I have been streaming a lot more on Twitch recently, so just because that is a lot. It's more low effort for me, and I'm not ever going to stop YouTube uploads completely, but I've just been uploading less because editing takes a lot of time for me. So I've just been streaming on Twitch whenever I'm just playing on my own, so be sure to go follow my Twitch. The link is in the description, but that's going to have the stream.